Guys, and welcome back. My name is Alex, and in today's video we're going to be painting some body parts. Hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome to Spec Garage. In today's video we're back to work on the Volkswagen Tiguan, and if you guys recall, we completely rebuilt the thing. It's now running and driving, done some retrofits, things like that. Well, the one thing that I think the Tiguan is missing is the R-Line body package, which I have right here. And so today we're going to be prepping this, we're going to be painting this right here in the garage. I'll show you guys some tips. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be perfect. This is not a paint booth, but I'll do my best to make it look as good as possible. So let me kind of walk you through the parts. Down at the very bottom, we have the R-Line bumper. This one I picked up from a parts bumper place. I guess they partner with body shops and they take on, imperfect body parts and things like that. This bumper is just a little bit scratched up. It didn't come with any of the trims or anything like that, but it's in good condition and a good candidate for repair. Up above that, we have the door panels, the lower door panels of the Tiguan. These R-Line ones are a little bit different. They're a little bit deeper and lower than the non-R-Line ones. So I got these guys off of eBay, about $100 each or so. So it's not exactly cheap, but from the dealership, these are about $500 each. And then just above that, we have these pieces. They go in the front of the bumper. They are kind of the lowest body colored piece in the front bumper, kind of in between the grills. And then over here we have the front fender extension pieces and things like that. But in today's video, I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be scuffing these up, I'm going to be painting them, and hopefully they turn out really good. Luckily, as you can see, the bumper and these pieces are already in the same color as the Tiguan, so these just require some base coat. These three are factory brand new, so they have the factory primer on them, so theoretically they should be ready to receive base coat. And then this one that you see right here, I've already scuffed it up. It was a gray, kind of like a Daytona gray color that I've already scuffed up. So yeah guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sanding the bumper, I'll be sanding all these pieces, setting up the garage, giving it a nice wash, and starting to spray. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to work. So guys, here's another closer up shot of all of the pieces. You can see this is the bumper that we have over here. In this video, we're just going to be painting this stuff. And in the next video, we're going to be installing. But if you guys were curious how these pieces install on the car, so let me turn this one over. So take a look. This is how this is mounted on the car. You can see there's some sticky tape here, some double-sided tape that sticks directly to the body. Then there's also a little bolt that goes through the door right here. And then the rest of the clips are these of clips. As you can see, there's rubber grommets in the door itself and they just clip in with guiding pins. And that's how all of these panels work. And that's how they all go on. As far as the bumper, it's pretty simple. The bumper has some clips right in here and then a bolt on each side. And essentially, that's the way the bumper comes on. So guys, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I already have this panel scuffed up. I'm going to give it a nice wash and then maybe go over it with some 600 grit. But the way that I did that is I used this DeWalt sander. That is a 200 grit sandpaper on there, and I just kind of went through and took off the majority of the clear coat on this, and I believe I have all of it. I don't see any shininess, but that is the name of the game here. So if you take a look at this bumper, there's clearly clear coat on it, And so in order to do this right, we're gonna have to sand all of these shiny pieces down so that there's no shiny bits. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to begin sanding this and try to get all of the shiny bits off and go from there. So let's do it. Hey guys, so it might not be the best solution, but I'm using this 220 drywall sandpaper to get a lot of the clear coat off. Probably not the best solution, but I do like this tool. It's nice and flat, and it really gets the clear coat off. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, but it's working really well. So I'm doing this 220 nice and lightly, nice and flatly, looking for any kind of serious abrasion, and then I'm gonna go after with a 600 grit and just kind of go through it all. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I guess let's see what it does. So far what I've done is I took that drywall 220, went through and scuffed up most of the clear coat, and you can see that I did a good job. So good, in fact, that I'm starting to sand down the edges. So that's not very good. But after that, I went and I took my rotary sander, or my DA sander over there, and just kind of went through and smoothed out all of the other ones that I did. And so now I'm gonna give this thing a wash, get all of the dust off, and see how it looks, and then proceed from there. Hey guys, so moved on to the side panels right now, and what I just did is I just wet sanded with 600. I also filled in some holes and wet sanded that, so now it's nice and I think ready for base coat. I don't know. Same thing with this guy that was painted already. Nice and smooth, nice and flat, no shiny spots whatsoever. So I think we're getting ready. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the other rear door side panels and do the same thing to them, and put these off to the side and return to the front bumper in preparation for painting. So let's go.
Do you wanna dance?
This is my setup for spraying and painting. As you can see, I have this bumper hanging from my garage rails, and I kind of tested this. If you can see, I have brooms that are kind of holding it up. I don't want this to be swinging back and forth as I spray, so this seems to check out okay. I don't know, I'll show you guys. This is the setup right here, if you take a look. Over here we have the auxiliary pieces. We have the fender pieces right there. The front bumper trim that kind of goes right across there. And then we have all of the door panels. These are the original ones, but if you take a look right over here, this is the R-line version. This isn't the non-R-line version, so it doesn't look real good. So we're painting those ones, if you look. And guys, as I was saying earlier, this is the reason I'm painting this bumper. As you can see, if If you were following my VW Vortex thread, you would have seen how I tried to repair that, and then as soon as I put it in, it broke. So we have a good bumper here, and this time what I'm doing, I didn't do this the first time I painted, but I put these lower corner pieces on. Did my best to fill in the license plate holes. I think they look okay. They're gonna turn out almost perfect, we'll see. Here is one of the one of the front door panels. These are the two rears and the one front. So yeah, my game plan here is I want this to be accessible. I want to have enough room to kind of move around, to spray over here and then be able to get in between everything over here and then come on over here, give it a spray, as well as on the back sides here. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully this looks okay. And yeah, I'm gonna give them a final wipe down, and one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna secure these somehow so that they are not flapping around when I'm spraying. But so far so good. Let me know what you guys think. I washed the garage floor, sprayed it down, scrubbed it, and washed it to try to eliminate any trash. Obviously, I don't have enough plastic to be able to hang and create a real booth. But guys, safety is first, so I'm gonna be putting on a mask and going to town. And so let me kind of show you guys what I have as far as paint. This is the paint that's going on the car. It's an X Prime paint. That's the paint code for this car is LC9A, and it's this pure white. So we have that. We also have medium urethane right here. We have a clear coat right there. We got some adhesion promoter. We have some mixing cups. And we have hardener and primer. I'm not gonna prime this. Might regret that later, but I think it's gonna turn out okay. So yeah guys, I'm gonna give everything a final wipe down, final clean, and then begin mixing and begin spraying. So I'll show you guys what I got going on, and let's get down to it. Alright guys, so we are going to mix up this paint 1-to-1. So 1 part paint, 1 part reducer, and see how it goes. Alright, so we're going to do our best. I'm going to pop open this can. I already shook it earlier. I'm just going to stir it right now. This paint matches pretty good to the rest of the car.
And guys, take a look. I'm painting and watch. Boom, I just dropped it. You can see my frustration there. That was in base coat. And I'm out there wet sanding it right now and going back in with the clear coat.
Okay guys, so here we are. This is after about 3 coats of base coat white, and it turned out so far so good. And right now I'm just walking through making sure I have all areas covered, especially these edges here. They look to be good, and I'm not seeing any black spots, I guess you could say. So far so good. However, you might have seen in the time lapse that this setup right here is not a very good one.
I spun the chair around to get to the other side, and the damn thing fell off. It scratched up the edge right there. So you might have seen me cussing a little bit, but you couldn't hear me. Well, took it outside real quick, let it dry out a little bit, then took some 1000 sandpaper, wet, and sanded it down, ran my fingers across it, seemed to be okay. It's really disappointing. But here we are. I mean, just walking around, I'm not seeing any spots that I missed. The first coat was very light, and yeah, very light just to get some color in there. The second coat was heavier, and the third coat was probably medium sized. Equal coverage on everything, and I think we are about ready for clear. It's looking good. There is some trash, of course. I mean, this garage, and I have pets in the house, and they shed all of their fur everywhere, and so that's just unavoidable. But I think it's okay. This little setup that I have going on seems to be working okay. The bumper's not swinging or anything like that. But yeah, guys, here we are. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. I'll let it dry out, then I'll take a dry, try to find the closest lint-free cloth that I can, wipe down any hairs, like for example right here, right there, if you can see that. That's a little hair. Try to get that off as best as I can, and then move on to the clear. But yeah, guys, so far so good. Let's get this R-line back together. Well, guys, I hope you caught that on the time lapse. We are done. So I got 3 coats of base coat, 3 coats of clear coat, some trash, not perfect, but I think good enough. So let me kind of show you right now. I just finished, so I'm not going to be touching anything, but I'll just show you guys what we got going on. And I don't know, let me know, did I do this right? I don't know. This is just based off stuff that I've learned off YouTube and things like that. So, you know, let's take a look. So here is the one that I dropped. I'm trying to show you guys the reflection there. It's pretty good. Very minimal trash on this one, even though it's the lowest. It's the lowest one. Moving on to these door blades. Also very slick. I love the way the clear coat comes out because it's just so fresh. So that is that. Let's move on to these pieces here. You can see that. They actually didn't end up moving under the pressure. I was running the gun about 20-25 psi depending on the compressor. So not too bad. And guys, one thing that I'm shocked right now, before when I've painted, I've always had runs, and I'm not finding a single run. I mean, I was keeping that in mind throughout this process, but yeah, not seeing any runs. Some trash over here, and then if you look, if you guys can see that the license plate holes didn't fully get covered up, you know, but that's okay. And then here is the side, you can see that. And down on the bottom. So essentially, most of this, I had this rotation, started here, then over there, then went to that table over there, and then finished off with the bumper. I think I did that because I wanted to, I'd rather screw up on these than on the bumper. At least that was the thought process. But yeah, not too bad. Again, this worked out really nice. The bumper wasn't swinging whatsoever. you can see I hooked it down here, the places that are going to be covered up by grills and things like that. And yeah, so I think it's doing pretty well. So I'm going to let this dry. Oh, there's a bug right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's checking out my paint job. So that is what we got going on. So one other thing that I did actually, these door blades, they came with the trim already attached. And as you can see, it was double-sided tape onto that section right there. So I went through and I cut it off with a knife because I didn't want to have a tape line or anything like that. But I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a pain in the butt to remove this double-sided tape to re-adhere. But not to worry, so this one was the one that came used. These ones were the ones that came never painted. So the ones that came never painted, the trim was attached. This one, the trim was already removed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the trim from the Tiguan. If you can see down there, it's got the chrome trim there. I'm going to glue that, or I'm going to take that off. I believe this is the side. I'm going to take that off, clean it up, wrap it black to match the rear, and glue it on. So that shouldn't be a big issue at all. So, again, guys, you know, the R-line bumper obviously looks so much better than the non-R-line bumper. There's a couple questions that I'd seen of people asking how, like, what all parts do you need in order to put this bumper on? So essentially, you obviously need the bumper, but you also need this trim piece right there, because that's the difference. And then also in the front here, there's a difference. You also need the wheel well liner. And the reason for that is this panel here, it's a different shape to match that of the R-line bumper. The very bottom kind of skid plate piece. So that is it for the front. These ones I picked up from the dealership. I could not find these used. The owner's manual says these are one-time use, meaning when you take them off they break. I'm able to take them off without breaking them, but I guess, you know, for not security, but for whatever reason, Volkswagen recommends that you replace them. They're about $100 a piece, if I remember correctly. And then these pieces, they come as they are. You don't need anything, at least not to my understanding just yet. If you guys saw, this trim piece is actually glued on, so I'm gonna have to go in there and unglue it. And then I believe I have not replaced this rear arch, but I believe that this rear arch is also different. I haven't run into the issue yet, but when we put the R-line door blade on, we'll see how this lines up. If it doesn't line up, then I might as well go ahead and order these. In the back here, if you notice, I have a 2022 rear lower valance, and it actually just, the bumper is original. That just clips off from the bottom. You have to take the bumper off in order to do it. But I think it looks pretty sweet. And then once we have that color matched and the black trim all the way down, I think it's gonna look really good. So yeah, guys, that is an update on the Tiguan. And so in this video, of course, we painted. This video is probably long enough. And in the next video, this is gonna be dry. For me, real time, it's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be nice and dry. I'm gonna take that bumper off, transplant all the parts onto this bumper, replace it, and then also replace the door skins, or the door blades, or whatever you call them. So yeah, guys, little by little, this thing is coming out. Let me know what you guys think of the RS5 wheels. I think they look freaking awesome on this car. I mean, look at that fitment. The suspension is stock, everything is stock as far as performance stuff goes.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If I messed something up or if I skipped a step, please do let me know. I'm not an expert in this, nor do I think I'll ever be. I don't really have a reason to get a paint booth. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the time lapse was sufficient. If you guys have any questions, let me know regarding the setup, the compressor, the paint, and things like that. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe. Please do like the video. If you guys like the Tiguan, let me know. I really like it. So until next time, guys, I'll see ya. Bye.